Well, the lockdown has dealt a massive blow to the construction industry through it, though it was able to partially open under level 4 regulations. Now, the industry was already ailing pre-lockdown, and like many other sectors, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted that particular sector. I'm joined by Dr. Sitsabo Dlamini, chairperson for the Council for the Built Environment, just to get his sense on what the virus impact is on this particular industry. Doctor, thanks indeed for joining us. I mean, here you have an industry that was already affected by the sharp downturn in the economy, whether COVID-19 was there or not. And I see the numbers now are looking at, what, 100 to 140,000 job losses if things don't come right?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks a lot for the opportunity, Devon. As you accurately said, I think from what we've been seeing in the past decade, since the growth that we experience in the run-up to the 2010 elections is continuous decline, which up until last year was just below zero, which basically means the industry was contracting in as far as creating jobs and making a contribution to national GDP. So really, the COVID-19 pandemic has not done us any favor because it caught us at a point when the whole industry was already in distress. So it's hitting very hard in a number of companies, especially big companies.
Now, Doctor, the Council for the Built Environment, I mean, it's in a very unique position because it coordinates different sectors of this industry. You have the landscape architecture, engineers, quantity surveyors, property valuers. How are things looking like at the moment when you just consider all of these facets of this industry? It certainly shouldn't be a very good picture.
Yeah, it's certainly not. Although we refuse to accept the fact that it's all gloom and gloom, but it's certainly not a good picture if you look at it on the surface of it. What we are currently experiencing, for instance, if you look at the six councils that fall under the Council for the Built Environment. We normally get renewal of membership by end of each financial year. And to date, if you look at the sort of people that have, professionals that have managed to renew, it's only about 15%. So basically, which means about 85% of professionals are in distress. And engaging with the different councils already, that message is coming out very strongly to say a lot of professionals are struggling.
Doctor, does that 500 billion rand package announced by the president, does any of that money find its way in assistance to the construction industry?
Certainly. I'm sure you will be aware that the construction sector builds infrastructure, which is so vital in as far as achieving economic growth is concerned. So we have made several presentations to the COVID Council Command in as far as the kind of interventions that we perceive that if they can be activated, especially immediately, as we see some of the restrictions being relaxed. Some of those projects can assist at least to get the kind of workforce. I mean, the construction sector employs about 1.2 million in the formal sector and about 800,000 people in the informal sector. So at least if we can get all those people back at work as soon as we can, by activating all the projects that were currently active, both in public and the private sector, we can at least be in a position to make a dent. And then we have also made some presentations on a number of strategic infrastructure projects that government can look at in terms of boosting the kind of growth that our economy needs. And we believe the infrastructure sector is one of those vital sectors that can actually assist government as they brainstorm in terms of a recovery plan for our economy.
Indeed, those infrastructure projects coming from government will be key for private sector as well. Well, Dr. Sitsabo Dlamini, thanks very much indeed for talking to us this afternoon from the Council for the Built Environment.